Someone who has forgotten more about the entertainment and movie and music industry than most of us will ever know. In my overused introduction, I mentioned that, Michael. I'm sorry. I just actually used that for Michael Shore. Yeah, so I actually have kind of reused it, dusted it off again for you, which I feel is kind of a hack move, to be honest. So I'm a little angry with myself right now. But
you're recycling.
Anyway,
it's a very good thing.
No, thank you. You're always charitable that way. Anyway, he comes to us on a rainbow. That's right. You can read his stuff in the Marina Times, and you can find him here on Fridays. Michael Snyder, everybody.
Hey there, Michael.
The Culture Blaster.
Nice.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Brett, Mark. Always a pleasure, if not a gratuity. I'm kind of...
I don't even know what that
Has anybody else been going to Trader Joe's? They don't have the shredded wheat right now. Supply chain issues.
Oh,
so
no.
Are you supposed to go to a plumber or a doctor for that? I don't know. I have had supply chain issues for weeks now. And it's killing me.
That's not fake. That's real.
Wow.
I don't know. It's a pretty problematic. Hey, look, maybe it's just me, but this mass obsession with Wordle is a weirdle. I don't. It just is inescapable if you're on social media these days. Everybody's like boasting how quickly they solved the puzzle. Here's a solution: don't do it. Just don't do the puzzle.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you're anti-Wordle is what you're telling us?
Yeah, anti-Wordle sounds like some kind of woman in a murder mystery.
It does. I actually like that.
2022. It's a new year.
Yeah, this is the 2022 game is Wordle.
I guess it's the game of the week. Speaking of games of the week, I'm on tenterhooks about this.
Huge Niners fan. You're a huge Niners fan. I
am. And I'm thrilled that they made it to the divisional round, and I'm excited for them. And they seem to be up for the frozen tundra. I hope it's going to be Fundra. I hope we're going to have a great time on Saturday
I see what
night.
You did with Tundra and Fundra. Very nice.
Hey, listen.
Okay.
I'm nothing if not a wordsmith.
I don't know if it was worth a ding, but all right, Chris. Okay, go ahead.
On a more serious front, the Castro Theater has been purchased by another planet. The rock concert producers and promoters, at least they're local. It's not like Live Nation or someone came in there, but the thought of that majestic theater not being utilized as it was intended as a movie palace is heartbreaking. I do believe they're going to be continuing to do the Frameline LGBTQ plus festival every year, and they're certainly, I would hope, doing Noir City, which is like great classic vintage films shown on a big screen in a classic theater. I can only hope. But I saw what happened to the Alhambra, which is also a beautiful classic theater in my neighborhood on Russian Hill. And they turned it into a crunch, a gym. And now all those beautiful ornaments and plush appointments, I guess they've been soiled by millennial sweat. And I'm hoping that, how many...
They don't show movies at the gym at all?
Sorry?
They don't... Sorry, go ahead.
How many... My question is, how many jam bands are going to play the Castro? And, it's just going to be bizarre, and I'm hoping that they stay true to the spirit of the venue. That's all.
By the way, because I know I'm critical of you, because I've known you a long time, and I enjoy making fun of you. But from the 510 on the text line.
Why don't you just text it?
Love the Fundra in the Tundra.
Well, I'm hoping it's a good time. Yeah. Let's get on to some movies are opening this weekend.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Let's get going.
All right. A bit of a history lesson with some thriller elements. Munich, The Edge of War, based on the bestseller by Robert Harris, gets a little dry at times, but ultimately holds your attention because of the high stakes and three very solid performances at its heart. Two young men, an Englishman and a German, who were best friends when they attended Oxford in the early 1930s, find themselves on two sides of a tipping point in international relations, which would be the 1938 conference in Munich, Germany, between Nazi leader Adolf Hitler and British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain. This was the big meeting that resulted in Chamberlain being vilified for appeasement in his attempts to prevent all-out war in Europe by looking the other way while Hitler was mobilizing to invade Czechoslovakia. History buffs will already know what I'm talking about. But anyway, buddies Hugh, a translator in the UK civil service, and Paul, a German diplomat who is quite aware of Hitler's hateful megalomania and desire to conquer. They reconnect in Munich as the conference commences, and they are embroiled in some espionage that might present a challenge to both of them and their safety and could prevent an impending war. George McCrae, who was in 1917, very solid as Hugh, and the German actor Johannes Niewohner is a fine foil as Paul. But the real treat here is a very rich and nuanced and tragic in hindsight performance by Jeremy Irons as Neville Chamberlain. Munich, The Edge of War is a good one to watch and chew over for the history buffs and even us dilettantes, and it's streaming on Netflix.
I actually got a text about this. Somebody else said they really liked it. In other words, a friend of mine just said, "Oh, you really ought to check this out." And you kind of fall into the same category as having really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's not, they haven't reinvented the wheel here. We know what happens. We know how things play out. It's not a pleasant story.
This is the Netflix offering. Is that where you see it?
Yes, it's a Netflix thingy, and it's available now for all who are interested. And it's...
I must point out then, yes, thank you, Chris, who diligently watches over the ding words. Megalomania is a ding word.
Well, what about the name of the director? Wait.
No, I heard the name. Go ahead. What is the name of the director?
Christian Swolchow.
No, it's not. That's his name. It's not a ding word.
Okay.
How dare you get involved in what's a ding word and not?
Hey.
Look, you're here like a place kicker. You come on, you hit the place kick, and you go back to the sidelines.
Wait. You've heard of getting jiggy with it. I'm getting dingy with it.
Embroiled is a ding word, and dilettante is a ding word. All right, go ahead. Go to your next film.
All right. After it was made, The King's Daughter, a clumsy, trite, and tedious fantasy with historical elements involving France's Sun King, Louis XIV, and a mermaid. Apparently, this sat on the shelf for 7 years until now.
What is the premise?
I'll get to that, but it involves Louis XIV and a mermaid. Anyway, this sat on the shelf for 7 years. I mean, it's like someone broke a mirror because this whole enterprise seems like it was a bad luck proposition from the get-go. And then I had the bad luck to watch and review it. I mean, wait a minute. Did I break a mirror here? I don't know. Anyway, speaking of shelves and being on the shelf, the talent on screen suggests top shelf enterprise. There's Pierce Brosnan as Louis XIV, William Hurt as priest to the king, moral compass, and eventual cemetery mogul, Père Lachaise. I see there's a cemetery in Paris called Père Lachaise. Anyway, and wait, come on. We got Julie Andrews voicing bookend narration and Chinese superstar Fan Bingbing, or Bing Bing Fan, depending upon where you're from, as the mermaid whose magical light-spewing heart will provide Louis with immortality if it's torn out of her during a solar eclipse and, I don't know, squeezed like a lemon.
If what is torn out of her? Her heart?
Her heart, yeah. It's
God.
What, do they squeeze it like a lemon into Louis' face? I don't know. Because
so you have to kill the mermaid by taking out her heart?
That's right. You, of all people, must be horrified.
Yes, I am. I'm disgusted by this.
Sea life is as valid as land
life. It is.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a wild idea.
This is no way to treat a mermaid. Anyway, the title is The King's Daughter. So, okay, what about the daughter? Louis had a secret daughter. We didn't know this in history. Marie Joseph, played by Kaya Scodelario. Anyway, her mom apparently died in childbirth, and the kid was raised in a convent. Now she's grown up and beautiful and a musical prodigy, and she loves the sea and wants to protect the mermaid, even if Louis Bond, it's Pierce Brosnan, even if Louis Bond is aching for some heart. Anyway, with all due respect to mermaids, and for the record, Fan Bingbing does nothing but swim around in a special effects miasma, trilling wordlessly. This thing stinks like 4-day-old fish. Make that 7-year-old fish. It's in theaters, The King's Daughter.
Wow, he really doesn't like it. Miasma is certainly a ding word, by the way.
Hey, ding me up.
You really didn't like that. It's so sad because, as you say, the pedigree on everybody in that film is really strong.
Right. When Brosnan says the name is 14th, Louis XIV, I was really kind of...
Wow,
dude,
Michael,
did you have to do that?
I can't get off the Bond thing.
All right, fine.
Yeah, all right.
All right, look, I got to give you something really, really good, unimpeachably good.
Thank you.
Okay,
Finish
the winner of the Grand Prix, and that's the big prize for those who don't speak French, at this past year's Cannes Film Festival, a hero from the great Iranian writer-director Asghar Farhadi is a dramedy, dark, sometimes funny, and deceptively small in scope, but it says so much that's sad and poignant and frustrating about modern society, the crush of bureaucracy, floating morality, true integrity, and the human condition. I watched it a few days back, and it's still haunting me. Its main character, Rahim, is an unlucky guy. You know that old line from the blues, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all.
Yeah.
That's Rahim. Except for a few days of leave that he gets now and then, he's stuck in jail because of a considerable loan he couldn't pay back. His ex divorces him. His young son, by the way, wrestles with a really serious stutter. His sister and brother-in-law despair over him, but he's honorable and likable, and so much so that when he meets and falls for a pretty speech therapist, she reciprocates his feelings. They want to marry as soon as he can get out of jail, but his creditor is a hardliner and won't budge until Rahim repays the massive loan. So during a 2-day leave, the therapist finds a sack of gold, coins at a bus stop in a sack, and offers them to Rahim to help repay the loan. And this triggers a series of events that increasingly make matters worse for this hapless guy. As Rahim, Amir Jadidi is everything a hero needed in its leading man. You'll feel for him till it hurts. A Hero is in theaters and currently streaming. I believe you can watch it on Amazon.
His friend found a bag of gold coins at the bus stop?
Yeah, they don't know the where and the why and the how, but and that'll help him pay off the debt. But again, that just triggers.
That made it worse, you're saying?
It just triggers a lot of stuff that goes down. I was really, really impressed with A Hero. It's in Farsi, I believe, and there are subtitles.
And it's called A Hero, and it's in theaters?
In theaters and on Amazon, my friend.
Oh, cool. All right.
It's Amazonian.
It's Amazonian. A Hero, that's called. The King's Daughter, with all those great people in it, is a stiff. Michael Snyder says avoid it. Yeah. And Munich, The Edge of War, which is on Netflix, he says, yes, embrace it. It's a grim history, but it's actually very well done. And that was more or less what he said.
Yeah.
He also included the words megalomania, embroiled, dilettante, and miasma. So I have to give him a little credit for that. We really...
That's your show, man. It's a miasma.
You always turn in a good performance. Michael, good luck to the Niners. We really have to get focused and send good energy to them.
I am ready. I am prepped.
You're a huge Niners fan. And thank you. You can read Michael Snyder in the Marina Times, marinatimes.com, or pick it up wherever you find the Marina Times. And he joins us on Fridays. Michael Snyder. He's the culture blaster on social media. Bye-bye, Michael.
See you,
Go
Michael.
Niners.
Go Niners.